Howdy and welcome to Adventures in Alberon. This is not our original 5th edition D&D campaign, but it is in fact a special one-shot. I am still your DM, Joe Treff, and joining me, hang on, I gotta just put this up special. Joining me are my friends Matt, Emily, we also have Cara, we have Kevin, and we have Hannah. I got it. Okay, I did it. It's tough when it's out of order. This is not live. We are pre-recording this to play when we are on break, but we're happy to have you here. This is our original one-shot, Camp Brightcove. Before we start playing, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, when you are seeing this, it is going to be exactly 1 week until we are going to start playing games again. And so we'll see you next week, beginning on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Courts of Everest, our original 5th edition D&D campaign. And then the only other announcement that I have is that for sound effects, music, like this lovely 64-bit music that we have playing behind, or we could have our nice little yay, all those sound effects from Sirenscape. And with that, I can get us into our read-up. Give me 1 moment here. Okay. That's so fast. But quite okay.
Not the vibe I was expecting, but I dig it.
It is just past noon on the 19th of Summertide, 1481 TA. A warm day, and only 2 hours ago, across the roiling waters of the boiling sea, past the Dead Cape and across the perilous Lake Tarkana, a group of adventurers has just stepped off a path of tarot cards and into the shadows of the ruins of Kir Lor Teleldar. But here, on the northern coast of Mythelstreen, the atmosphere could not be different. The warm summer air rushes past your face as you cut through the waves on a small sailboat skillfully maneuvered by a red-headed dwarvish man with broad shoulders, tan skin, and a slight squint in their left eye. You left the shores of Brightcove Bay in northern Mythelstreen 2 hours ago, and so many of you might be quite ready to disembark, and luckily for you, the time is nearly upon you. Blue Island is one of the many Brightcove archipelago islands, though none are quite so small as Blue Island. However, its rocky exterior is quite high, and the elevation make it a perfect spot for a summer camp for the children of the wealthy Port Talus, a city of statues and idyllic columns that is the cultural epicenter of Mythelstreen's arts and trades with the Kingdom of Sarentil in Dominion. You see a small floating dock with a posted wooden walkway that leads to a grainy beach, where small pebbles mix with dense sand before transitioning to stone and small elements of soil that lead up a switchback trail to the top of the island about 45 feet above. And so you can see it just carves like to the right and then back up to the left and then back up to the right, quite steep. You can see at the very top there seems to be elements of like a large tree that sprawl out, just the branches. And you have arrived at Blue Island. Who is getting off the ship first? All right. Would you go ahead and introduce your character, Navonk?
Looking very queasy and grateful to be on solid ground. We have a massive, kind of powerfully built bugbear. Lots of like ropey muscles.
Yeah, those muscles.
But also has her fur and like really like jaunty pigtails and is wearing a bucket hat. And has a lot of like handmade string jewelry on. Calling it string jewelry because while proficient with weaver's tools, not really easy with such big, ungainly fingers.
Trust me, you're preaching to the choir over here.
She like immediately like kneels down on the sand and just kind of like starts like hugging it.
Okay.
And this is Navonk.
So Navonk, the bugbear, into the sand, and you throw up a little bit, but ultimately you have hit land and you are okay. The dwarf kind of looks at you disapprovingly, tying off the ship to this element of the dock. Who's gets off next?
I'll get off next.
Yeah.
So you see a tiefling with pretty pale skin, and she's dressed in all black and has horns that protrude up from her forehead, and tucked behind the horns is a beret at a jaunty angle. She's wearing dark sunglasses, and she sort of steps off as delicately as she can, looks down at Navonk and goes, wow, that's, you all right there? You probably want to stand up. You don't want the kids to think you're a square.
Navonk isn't a square. Navonk is very round and tall, narrow, and also very happy to be on the beach.
I got it. You're not hip to what I'm putting down. Anyway, looking forward to molding some minds.
Navonk is also looking forward to molding clay.
Navonk, you are excited to mold clay, and so you climb to your feet. I'm feeling a little bit better. Lilith, you are on the beach as well.
Oh yeah, my name's Lilith.
Who gets off next?
Across the travels, you see a black shape that is not necessarily on the ship, but has been following it on a broom. And you hear a calling sound every once in a while, and then when the ship docks, the flies down, lands on the beach, dismounts off the broom, and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, His Majesty," and does a deep bow and waits.
Make a it's not diplomacy, persuasion check, please. My dumb thing's froze up already.
22.
22? Okay. The 22, very awkwardly, you can see the dwarf, not sure what to do, gives like a half-hearted bow. Doesn't quite seem to understand that you are not royalty. But no problem. You have your kenku on the beach, little broom in tow.
So you see bells, which he usually has a soft bell sound accompanied by his name. And then he rides up from his bow and says, thank you, I'm here all night."
Fantastic. So the dwarf looks at you a little peculiarly, but turns, and then seeing the final two people who are on this boat, says, "You need to get off at some point."
So I'm gonna slowly climb up to the edge of the little boat, I guess.
Okay.
And just kind of drop down. It's very gray, sort of salt-beaten, but wiry, like a pit bull goblin. Peppery beard, corncob pipe, and a thick turtleneck, like cable knit turtleneck, and a poncho. And in the poncho, in the hood, I've got a raccoon sleeping.
That's me.
The raccoon is
So you see, getting off the ship, a goblin. Small, dressed very much as a sea captain. Though he is neither a captain nor longer at sea. In the hood
look
is
around very
a slightly smaller than average raccoon. You can see, are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay, just like sleeping, the little eyes shut, the little paws like tucked in, very cozy. You can decide when you wake up. All of you have arrived. Navonk?
Am I in the clock yet?
Can I pet him?
Like
Let
on
her
the
sleep.
job?
No, not yet.
No. Okay.
There
It's
you
been
go.
a long trip.
Bell says, "It's been a long trip."
All right, you lot. We fish these waters for a living, so mind that you clean up after yourselves this year. Otherwise, you might anger the spirit of the sea, and Umberly is not forgiven. And he just takes off the rope and pushes away from the dock and begins to coast away. All of you are left on the shore with the switchback trail up to the camp above. You will need to walk up that path, with the exception probably of Kevin, who could just fly up. Where are you guys going? What are you doing?
I start the slow and treacherous cross up the path.
Okay. So you walk up to this path, assuming that it will be treacherous as it is up a mountain. The stairs here, very well carved out, and you can see there has been magic applied to shape the earth in such a way that you can just walk quite easily up.
Taking my cane, I'm slowly making my way up.
There you go, no problem. So you begin to walk. Is everybody else following?
Bel's just gonna like hop on his broom and speak the magic or the power, the controlling word, command word, which is "Ha!" And we'll kind of circle around, up, and then come back down, and then kind of will follow the group from behind, parallel to the group as they
Okay.
walk up.
No problem. You do so. For all of you, you make your way. It takes you like maybe 3 or 4 minutes only to cut your way back across this switchback trail. Give me 1 second here. At the top of this plateau, there are several cabins that are arranged around a central fire pit. And at the extreme northern end, there is a main activities cabin, it looks like. To the left, several smaller buildings, and you can see through the windows there are bunk beds. These seem to be like the cabins for people to sleep in. And then the right side of this camp seems to be more specialized. Navonk, your eyes immediately go to, you can see painted in big white letters, crafts cabin. And it seems to be the arts and crafts station. You also see directly in front of you, blocking the way, a huge cottonwood tree. There is a rune in Elvish. Who's going up first? You're leading the way, I guess, technically. You read Elvish?
Of course.
It reads the safety tree in Elvish.
The safety tree?
Currently, gleaming short sword and a dark leather scabbard with red detailing is currently hanging from one of the branches. And as the tree in the wind, you can see there are several swords. Actually, a badly rusted warhammer, a couple daggers, a long sword. Many of them look to have been here for some time and are not in the best shape.
Do they clink when they move?
They do, yeah.
Okay, so I feel like that noise would wake me up, and I just slowly.
Oh.
I'm not saying anything yet, but I'm just kind of just looking around.
So suddenly, as you get up to the very top, this raccoon just from the top of the hood.
How can I pet him?
Arrived.
Oh, crazy.
Let her wake up.
So not yet.
So is that like your pet or
This is my niece. Yeah.
what?
So I'm gonna turn into my elf self now. Be like, yeah, are we on vacation? Yeah, are we there?
Wow.
So just
Just arrived.
just an elf right there, no longer a raccoon. And Navonk, as you were going to like pet the raccoon, it's just an elf now.
I swat it away.
Wow.
Respect
how
the
you cop a
personal
bit.
boundaries.
Suddenly, from within the main camp, the door opens from the activities cabin, and a tall human wearing very short shorts and a simpler travel shirt with a baby blue tabard that has the words Camp Brightcove written across in common. Along with the very same cottonwood tree with several shells suspended from its branches, the camp's logo. He has a mop of sandy brown hair, a thick mustache that does little to hide his large front teeth, and he walks with purpose, but his aggressively pear-shaped body does give him kind of a funny gait. He stops about 10 feet away from you and snaps up a salute and says, "Oh, looking smart, counselors. Welcome to Camp Brightcove." And he turns, looking at you right in the front, and says, "A wayfarer I see. The first merit badge will give out." And he gives you the Wayfarer merit badge.
What be this bag?
Well, because you led the way, this is for you. And functionally, the Wayfinder merit badge is a bonus action. You can invoke the badge and are not affected by difficult terrain for that round.
I'm gonna pop out and just be like, "Hi! Oh my gosh, I love your beard. Did you grow it yourself?"
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's sort of passed on from a family birthday gift. So he turns and looks at all of you.
So handsome.
Make a persuasion check.
Which one is that?
Roll a 20-sided dice. And then Matt will show you where the modifier is that you could add.
Ooh. All right. So you got a 19
Ooh.
plus. Was it persuasion?
Yeah.
So dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He just goes, "Oh, well, we're in orientation. Okay, listen up. This computer's killing me.
I think I'm clocking that he's got his eye on me beautiful niece.
So you've all arrived at the greatest camp in Alberon and the dream destination of children from the wealthy and the famous. I'm Scoutmaster Doglethan Warmwinter. Happy to meet all of you. Before we break up into teams and we go and set up the camp, we've got a little tradition to take care of. Don't forget, come on to the safety tree. And he turns and walks over to the big cottonwood tree that you see directly in front of you. Everybody goes over?
Yeah, Bells will immediately pick up on the mannerisms and the gait of Doglethan and will follow him one for one as he's walking over then side by side and then does the salute.
You just puff out your feathers a little bit more to give yourself the shape and you start kind of walking. Make a performance check.
31.
What was it?
31 natural 20.
I was gonna say the dirty thing.
Jeez.
You've been blessed.
Good God. So with that...
Group, the dice are being kind today.
Yeah, I know. With that, he turns around. He just goes, "Oh, that's a pretty funny one. Looks just like me."
That's a pretty funny one.
Reaches into his thing and pulls out another merit badge, and just says, "First camper to make me laugh always gets the Jester badge." And functionally, from a mechanics standpoint, that badge. Oh God, I need a new computer so bad. As an action, you can cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter with a DC of 12, invoking that badge. So he turns around and just kind of takes a step over so that you can stand next to him if you want. He's accepted you as a mini-me, and he points to the tree and he says, "All right then, per our founder Brimford Brightcove's instructions, repeat the safety oath after me, and then add your weapons to the tree. This is a summer camp after all, and we wouldn't want any children getting hurt. I, Junior Camp Counselor, your name here. My name's Doglethan, so I'll say Doglethan. Doglethan.
Hi, Junior Camp Counselor. Your name here. I'll say Doglethan.
I like that. Do solemnly promise to do my best to keep the peace amongst the campers and my peers."
Do solemnly promise. Yes.
"Lest the spirit of Bimford Brightcove suck your innards from your chest."
And make sure the spirits suck up all of our juices.
He taps the sword that's up hanging on the tree. Mine's up there already. But go ahead, add yours.
Hold on there, Big Daddy. I prefer to keep my hot iron in case there's any bad news.
Well, it's really a camp rule. Make a persuasion check.
Yeah, this seems a little too formal for me.
Well, this is,
kind of just gonna
Oh no, that's natural one. I thought it was a 7.
It's a natural 1.
Yeah.
It's really very important because all rules exist for a reason, and we had an incident the other year. So, if you wouldn't mind, just up on the safety tree, please.
Oh, what a cube. She hangs her hand crossbow.
I've been called a pair before, but Navonk, are you putting anything up there?
Navonk just opens up her backpack, which is just a burlap sack, and pulls out a huge amount of ball bearings that have had a hole stabbed through them, and then some string, a bunch of pieces of chalk, and then just dumps out the bag.
That's not weapons. You don't need to hang those up on the tree.
Oh, that's good. And then just starts putting it all back in her bag.
Okay. What about you?
Bells just takes the lead from Lilith and unsheathes his rapier and just kind of just lays it on the ground.
Okay. He goes, "Oh, close enough, I suppose." And he goes over and takes some string and helps tie it up on the tree. And Emily.
Yeah.
Do you have a weapon? I don't think you do.
Does the staff of flowers count?
It depends. So the staff is a weapon, and so he's gonna say, "Oh, time for your staff."
Okay. And then I bink a flower for him, and then I bink a flower on the tree.
Make another persuasion check.
12.
Flat 12. That's not a weapon. That's a flower maker. You can keep that.
Okay.
What about
You
you?
can keep the flower.
Oh,
Reminds me of you.
don't mind if I do. Junior counselor, what about you?
I make no oaths to men, but to the lords of the sea who watch over the sailors as they cross the treacherous waters.
Oh my god.
I have no weapons.
You could have just led with that, but that's fine. Excellent. All right. Well,
So embarrassing.
unfortunately, that was much harder than it was last year, so I cannot be giving out the safety badge. But no, never mind. So, come with me, campers. And he walks over to the campfire. There's no fire burning, but there's kind of like a ring of little stools. There's a rock that's next to it that's clearly like the prize seat, because it's like, when you see a rock and it's just like the perfect sitting rock, that's what it is. It's like a big stone, very stable. But he sits down on that, and he gestures for you all to sit around as well.
Are there other like chair type things?
Not only are there chair type things, there's many chairs. There are a few other people that are there. And so there are enough chairs that you don't need to really sit next to anybody if you don't want. You can see there are 4 other individuals that are around the circle. You see a woman with amber colored hair. She looks a little bit dirty, but she's wearing like the camp tabard as well. You see a dwarf with a short beard for a dwarf and long hair that is tied back in a ponytail, shaggy sideburns. And then you see a tiefling with dark red hair separated into 2 stiff braids. They have dark makeup. They have very messy hair, also look a little dirty. And then you see another human with a little bit of a green cast to her skin and yellowish eyes with elongated pupils. They look a little bit different than the other folks, but all of them wearing Camp Brightcove gear and sitting around this fire pit.
Lilith immediately goes and sits next to the tiefling woman, as close as she can get and still be socially acceptable, and then leans over and like gives a conspiratorial wink, except she's wearing some like dark sunglasses, so it's just for her.
She turns and looks at you and goes, "Hi, I'm Jessica."
Jessica, what a cool cat. Lilith, oh no.
And he just like shakes really hard, pumps the hand, and then just goes, "Do you want to be friends?"
And Lilith kind of looks her up and down and is like, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be great. Camp Counselor Doggleton? And you can see he turns around and just goes, "Yes, Jessica." And she goes, "Can they be my roommate? I know nobody else wanted to last year, but they said they would." And Doggleton just goes, "I suppose we should probably talk about that later. What was your name again?"
It's Lilith.
Lilith. Okay, we'll talk about that later. You might... Anyways, we are going to break up into groups. We need to make sure that everything is straightened away. Navonk, I believe. I've heard that you are quite talented at crafts.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that you go to the crafts cabin.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I help?
Yes, actually, all of you arrive together so you could be one group, and we'll have Roches, Jessica, Hankmar, and Mina. They will be the other group, and they'll do the other things. So, for all of you, if you wouldn't mind, oh, you're all new, aren't you? Okay, I'll take you around. For Jessica, Roches, for the rest of you, if you wouldn't mind, please go set up the canoe station. And he gives them like a separate set of tasks. He turns as they sort of head off.
They seem like they're going to be capable of setting up the canoes to make them
a perception.
truly seaworthy.
I mean, okay, that's what you're trying to do. Make a
Do these
insight
look
check.
like sailing folk?
Make an insight check.
As they walk away, oh, sorry.
I think it's good. It was 19, 21.
21. They're junior camp counselors, and so like as far as you can tell,
I'm gonna have to take a look later.
I'll say with that look you see on Hankmar, this dwarf, on their hands, the calluses that they have definitely belong to somebody who is pretty familiar with archery. Aside from that, you don't see anybody who has what look like seaworthy skills or attributes.
As they walk away, Lilith's gonna be like, isn't anyone else gonna tell me their names?
Bells goes, "Hi, I'm Jessica."
Very convenient. So you see as that group goes away from the cabins, the door opens, and going with them, there is a huge minotaur that steps out. You would have heard of this individual. This is the head of camp security, Bronze Shadowmane. You can see salt and pepper fur, muscular chest and back. They are wearing a tabard, but it has been cut down the middle to be open enough for their neck to fit through. They are pretty large, but they go and like supervise this other group that heads off to go and set up the canoes, the bouldering course, the fencing targets, and a few other things.
I guess that's a no.
Oh,
just
you talking
head
to the group? Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. There's just so much to look at over
Does
here.
anyone else? Okay, well, I guess
But I mean, yeah, so my name's Joanne, but you can call me Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
Cool.
"Hi, I'm Jessica."
I don't think you are.
I'm beginning to think that you're more of like an imitator.
Imitator.
Yeah. All right. Well, for the rest of you, you'll be coming with me. Let's go to the archery range and check to make sure it's correctly set up with a friendly competition. Then we'll go over and get the fishing rods and grab a quick fish or two for dinner. And then finally, Navonk, for you, we'll go to the arts and crafts cabin and get it squared away. Come with me. And he stands up and he begins walking to the northeast. Are you all going?
I'm gonna turn back into a raccoon and kind of go look for a snack.
Okay. So you become a raccoon and make a perception check.
Ooh, 26.
26. With the 26 in your little raccoon form, you sniff the air and you can tell that all of the food is stored in one particular hut. This hut seems to be like pretty well fortified, maybe to like keep wildlife out and stuff like that. But as a raccoon, you like take a little walk over to that. Are you going with the raccoon?
I'd probably like follow, a little closely behind, but I'm looking around. Are there spirits about?
Are there any
Because
ghosts?
with my poncho on.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Thankfully, Talon's not here to give us woes today.
Oh, I have advantage because I'm looking.
Eye for detail.
No.
It's for deceit.
19.
19.
Ethical spleen.
With the 19, you begin to look around, and you look around in a way that for most people is almost impossible. You really see the camp. You don't see any spirits. You don't see any ghosts. You don't see anything that really registers other than the people that you've been introduced to, the people who did not introduce themselves but walked off, and the record.
All right.
There's like some insects and stuff, like.
All right. Then I'm gonna follow, a little behind, but just kind of like checking out the place.
Follow who? Okay. So we'll get back to the two of you in a
Dave.
second. For the three of you who head off to the archery range, Dogglethan's going to turn around and just go, "All right now, Junior Captain. Oh, we seem to have lost a few people. Perhaps they'll join us later, but that's a shame. Let's go ahead and we'll have a friendly competition to make sure that these are zeroed in correctly. We can make any adjustments and head off to the fishing hole. What do you say?"
Okay.
Okay.
He goes over to the targets, and from behind he pulls out two bows, and he comes back and he says, "Who will go first?"
Lilith takes one of the bows.
Okay, he gives you the bow, and he just says, "Now, each person will get 2 shots at the targets over there," and he points over, and you can see there is like a yellow bullseye, then a red ring, then a blue ring, then a black ring, and then around the very edge, this white ring. And he says, "Obviously, the closer to the bullseye, the better, but whoever has the highest score after 2 shots will win." Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Is it a longbow?
It is a short bow.
23.
Okay. Lilith.
Or no, 26. Sorry.
26. It matters. So with a 26, you pull back on the string and you fire.
Sorry.
28? Yeah. Okay, still fine. So with a 28, you fire, and the arrow and sticks right into the very, very edge of the bullseye. Not quite in the dead center, but you are on the exterior ring on the inside. And Doglethan says, "Oh, that's 30 points. Very good, Lilith. Take another shot."
Don't mind if I do. 25.
25. The second shot just a little bit further away and just into the red ring. And Doglethan says, 25 points, still very good, very respectable. You're quite good at this. Very
Yes, I
good,
am.
Lilith. We'll put you in charge of the archery range tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Who's next? Does anybody think they could beat Lilith? That's pretty good. I couldn't do that.
That was really good.
Lilith kind of twirls the short bow expertly.
Navonk, would you like to try?
Okay.
All right. He gives you the other bow.
Navonk attempts to string the bow, having never done this before, and is kind of trying to mimic what Lilith does.
Navonk, that's quite good. And he takes it back and then he goes, would you like to try, Bells?
Bells goes, do or do not. There is no try.
That doesn't answer my question. He gives you the bow. Okay, you make an attack roll. He's watching it. He goes, okay, quite.
A 10.
A 10. So you pull back the bow and you fire, and it almost misses the target. It just, and it hits it such a way that it turns straight up, and it almost leaves the edge of the bow and peels the edge away, but it just sticks in. And he says, 0 points, but almost. Bells, try one more time. I'm sure you can get this.
Bell says, better safe than sorry.
Lift your elbow.
15.
15. This time, it goes into the blue ring, a little bit closer into the center, and he says, 10 points, very respectable for a first try.
Very respectable.
Very respectable. So, excellent job, Navonk, but ultimately, Lilith, I think that you are going to run this. And in fact, he pulls out so many badges. The archery badge. And the archery badge, mechanically, give me 1 second here.
This is so exciting. Is it I can pin it on?
Yeah, it's
She
like a
pins
little-
it to her beret.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's like a little, very similar to it's like these, the enamel pins. All right, give me 1 second here. My computer is not being very cooperative with me. Okay, so the archery badge, once per turn, you can re-roll all damage dice associated with a ranged weapon attack that has already hit, but you must take the second result.
Okay. Reroll. And you have to reroll all the damage dice, or you can pick the ones you want to
All
reroll.
the damage dice.
Reroll all damage.
It's elvish accuracy, but for damage. For the two of you, you can hear arrows being shot off in the distance, but you're looking for a snack. So you see this door.
I see that happening.
Yeah, you do. You see everything. When you get to the cabin, you're a little bit short. You're going to have to jump to get the door now, but you can. The door is locked. Like most camps, they know that campers will go in and take snacks and things, so they generally keep it locked. But if you want, you can try to pick the lock.
It's
Or-
like the video of the raccoons that are just
Yeah,
the
it's
wall.
Before I do that, can I just take a quick peek around in case there's anything I could scrabble?
Absolutely. Make a
in?
perception check. So roll a 20-sided dice.
Can I help by...
Roll two 20-sided dice. As Old Gar comes out and just points and
Grag.
just goes, what?
Old Grag?
Oh, Grag. Oh, Grag wrong on the
Gragnus.
thing, I think. But that's okay.
18?
18. With an 18. That's pretty good. So you look around and you can see just off to the side, there aren't really trees around the cabins, but there are some bigger boulders. And so you scamper up onto one and you can see the gutter of this cabin you can grab onto and climb up to the top. And there isn't necessarily a direct opening, but you can see a place over where they cook that has like a thing that you can slip off, and you can like drop down. It is about a 10-foot fall, and so for a little raccoon, it's a pretty far ways down.
Can I like hang down as a raccoon and then as I let myself go turn back into an elf and then like land like that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So just remember, every time that you transform, it does take away one time that you can transform. Okay. So you like reach down, you dangle your feet, your little raccoon feet, and then they just stretch and stretch and stretch, and then your feet just touch the counter, and you can let go, and you're like tippy toes around the counter, but you just pop off and land.
Don't be heading off too far.
You are in
I'll be right there.
the kitchen that is in the back of the like dining area. And so there are all manner of things that you can eat here. There is like dried goods, there are vegetables. There is even a small chest that if you open it up, there is cold air that comes out of it. This seems to be some kind of a magical item, a chest of colding. And this has some meat in it as well.
I'm gonna make like a little charcuterie plate. So my goal is to, when I come back and rejoin the group, I'm gonna be like, hey, I made snacks so that I'm not in trouble. And then also I want to have enough food, so not like near beds, but I'm gonna leave like a little cache here and a little cache there, so that I will make like little places for animals, so that later on I can check and see
and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Little caches for
So
squirrels.
you're doing it's like hunters who like they do the duck call, and then you're like waiting and seeing what happens. Okay, cool. So you go make a nature check, and this is really you thinking about like what is going to get me the best animals here. What is not going to bring a bear to the camp? What will bring something cuter than that?
Maybe like a baby bear.
Yeah.
Bugbear.
Oh, there we go.
22.
A 22. What kind of animal do you want to lure to this camp?
Nature white dragon.
Can I ask my uncle for help?
He's right there, yeah.
What should we what are you hoping for?
What is an old creature of the sea that would watch
those
over this
stories you were telling me
place
about,
and keep us safe?
Uncle?
In like thinking on the history of this place and
Like a mudfish, because it's gonna need to come on land. Bobfish. You want beaky?
ooh. History? Where is it? 27.
Okay. The Karundatai is a lamprey-like creature that can emerge like an amphibian from the ocean, and it can like attach to people and pull parts out of them. So if you're looking for something more gruesome, that's definitely something that people have talked about in this general area. If you're looking for something maybe a little less aggressive,
More benevolent.
more benevolent than
Yeah.
that, a lot of your experiences with the ocean, so really it would be birds. And so you can think of many birds that might populate this place. Albatross, seagull, there are a few larger fishing birds. What are you trying to get?
You know,
A whole mess of birds.
some like large, yeah.
Immediately you see bells. Just like you see but the bells is just there like pecking at it.
So yeah, right after Bells fires that like 10-point shot, and he's like, "Good job, Bells!" just darting away. It's like it's spider senses tingling, and yeah. So you go in and you take a bunch of like the dried granola and some seeds, and with that nature
And I
check.
put some in my pocket for later too.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, a pocket full of seeds. So you look over, and in the camp, in the sort of northwestern corner before it transitions into forest, there is an area where there are like stones and moss and flowers, and it's a little bit more like of a natural spot than the rest of the camp. And so that's probably where you want to leave it. No problem. While you're there, make a perception check. So make a 20-sided dice roll.
Can I also make a perception check?
Sure.
Constant vigilance.
Oh, 5. Wait, plus
Plus
12. So I got a 12.
yeah.
Very nice.
And I got a 24.
Okay. With 12, this is a beautiful little area. It has like some butterflies, it has flowers. That's kind of all that you really see. For you, with your old eyes, developed in the salt of the sea.
I see everything.
You see a bunch of flowers, you see some moss. You do notice that this is a very markedly different in terms of the stuff that's growing here. You see flowers nowhere else in the camp other than this particular patch of ground. And so perhaps this is the best place to leave it for animals. I mean, this is like very much a growing place. For what it's worth.
Some spirits bless this place.
What was that?
Perhaps.
Go put a shirt on.
In the meantime, Lilith is spending some time looking around the archery area.
Okay.
Are there any other kind of archery items here other than the short bows?
Make a perception check. There's quite a few arrows, as you might imagine.
16.
A 16. With a 16, there are 2 or 3 short bows. There's a bunch of like spare string. There's a bunch of arrows, but not a whole lot else.
Okay, no crossbows or
No
anything like
crossbows.
that.
No.
All right, she's going to just hold the short bow that she was given, not give it back.
Yeah,
just
that's
hold
fine.
on to it.
Yeah.
Sling it over
So as you finish up on the archery range, Dogglethan kind of turns around and just goes, well, I was hoping the others would have joined us by now, but maybe they'll meet us at the fishing hole. So come along. And he begins to walk off and to the north.
I take some arrows too on the way out.
Okay. You can add up to 10 arrows to your inventory.
Come, niece.
Okay.
The ocean calls to me.
I'm like still scattering like nuts and things, and I think I'm singing / doing bird calls, but I'm just going la 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 la, and I have my flower.
I'm just
stack of
like-
flowers. I'm like bonking flowers.
Slowly.
This is like in your mind, you're hearing like this, it's like a music video,
Yeah,
but to
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
else, it like
Disney
zooms out
princess.
and it's like no music, just like the off key, like
La
up and down. Yeah,
la
perfect.
la la la.
Beautiful.
Bells is 10 feet behind them and just like singing or imitating and just like pecking at all of them.
Just walking along.
So for the rest of you,
Most
as you're
beautiful
walking towards
voices
this
I've ever
blue
heard.
barricade that is north and ends into a forest of palm trees, coconut trees, and spiky barked varietals of honey locust, you suddenly hear a cacophony of like sound. It is maybe birds, maybe like a whole flock of it is your other companions, along with
Yo,
Bells, who is like a half second behind, but the exact same song. What was that?
Hey, y'all are brought snacks.
And you can see there is like a little tray, all kinds of cheese, all kinds of like nuts, little charcuterie board.
Whoa, you're cooking.
Dogglethan just goes,
Thinking of you.
well, we're not really supposed to go in the cooking tent yet.
Oh, but look, do you think? And I like pass you back.
We get
Do you
3
love
meals a
this so
day and a
much?
cot.
Come on,
This will
go
count
eight.
as our first.
He goes, I don't really know about the cocktail. We'll have to revisit that, I suppose.
And a cot, I said. I provide me on
Gotta
it.
keep your strength up. You've been doing so much work.
Well, let's just
It
go
is
to the fishing
important
hole.
to keep your energy up.
I don't disagree. You take out a little bit of cheese, nice sharp cheddar, no
was a
problem.
very
And you can see.
I just pass it.
Okay.
It's
Navonk, you just,
Lilith's nibbling, like she just.
so there's like a part that has a block of cheese and a couple pieces that are sliced, and Navonk just takes the block. And no problem. He just turns and just goes, well, Lilith, I'm happy that you're here. And he leads the rest of you off and towards this fishing hole. You descend this steep stone staircase. There are strands of green succulent pods on thin strings, almost green hair-like stems that trail across the steps and then drape down this cliffside to where you can see there is a wooden sign with faded paint that reads Camp Brightcove Fishing Hole. As you are walking, you hear a loud whistle, and from the other side, coming up from where you had seen the previous campers go to, you see that dwarf return. And Hankmar says, hey guys, have you seen Mina anywhere? She was supposed to set the canoes and make sure there was no leaks, but the canoes are still on the racks.
Which one's
Where is she?
Mina?
Mina was the one that looks kind of dirty all the time. Don't
all-
tell her I said that.
They all look dirty, including you.
Oh,
Do I see anyone who looks especially dirty?
make a perception check.
Look, no point in hiding the truth. We're trying to mold minds here.
Navonk kind
Good
of like
that you agree.
Navonk
24.
kind of like tugs on her little like friendship bracelet and pulls on the blue string and is just like slightly more damp.
There you go. You can
wet
see
dog smell.
you looking around. You don't see anybody else in this immediate vicinity. You see your niece. You see the other people within your group, and you see Dogglethin and Hankmar, and that's it.
Nowhere near.
All right. Well, no worries.
Someone's lost already.
I bet she's just rolling around in the dirt somewhere.
So embarrassing.
Mina! And he just continues like walking past you back in the direction of the camp.
Has the
Dogglethin,
sea taken her?
I don't have a role for you for that.
Roll for siege.
Perhaps. So Dogglethin kind of shakes his head and he says, "It happens all the time. It's a small island, but because of the verticality of it and the trees, people get lost. They'll
It
find
happens all the time that you lose track of people.
Yeah, for a little bit.
I had
That's like so embarrassing.
I fell over a lot.
Part of the reason is because we're very open in our counselor selection process, clearly. So come with me, and he heads down these stone steps. At the bottom of this step, there is a massive tidal pool, about 110 feet across. It's deep, and you can see in it, like the first layer of water, there are shelves of stone that go down almost like steps. And so it's very easy for you if you want to just like wade in and be pretty much at any depth of water that you want. There are sand bits that are on the steps, there are barnacles, there is little bits of seaweed, but the center of this tidal pool is dark blue. And so though you do see like the transition down, there is no visible bottom. And it's like the center 15 feet is just a deep, deep hole. However, Dogglethin says, "All right now, junior campers, or junior counselors, I brought some poles to be strung and lures to be tied, and when we're ready, let's have a friendly competition and make sure that everything works. I will warn you, because of the nature..."
Competition?
Activate my rod of angling.
Okay,
that I've been
something-
using as a
it's just this
walking stick.
fishing rod appears
Wait, what's the
in this one.
reward? Do I get anything? Is it more snacks?
And so he like just kind of shakes his head first at now this person, and he just goes, "Wait, I need your help. You're working here." And so
I'm taking off some clothes so I can already wade in the water.
okay.
I'm gonna set my
dear.
rod out, like prop it up with my little set of fishing gear.
Yeah.
On the beach and start doing all the other stuff that he's asking me.
Make a sleight of hand check. And there is a possibility, due to your background, that you may be able to do this for everybody in a very quick amount of time.
Okay.
This is just putting a hook on a line.
Oh,
You can see Dogglethin has put like 4 of these rods down.
sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Do I use
You
like
could add your proficiency modifier, yeah.
Okay.
Proficient
what's proficiency?
Stringy hooks.
14.
14, okay. Not quite as good. The hand's a little shaky away from sea, and so you can't quite get more than your own, but you do it, no problem.
Bells is going to be like intently watching what they're doing,
Okay.
or what as he's like trying to fiddle around and try to like mimic what he's doing with
Yeah.
his.
So everybody make a sleight of hand check who wants to go fishing.
Navonk is like,
Navonk, make it at disadvantage.
Ooh, natural 1 for a total of 6.
Okay,
proficiency with Weaver's tools.
that's good. Ooh. 21.
21.
Natural 20 for
Very
25.
Okay.
10.
Okay. So, Dogglethin looks around, and you guys finish pretty easily. You finish right away. In fact, you watch what he's doing, and you finish before he does. And that's pretty embarrassing. For you, Navonk, it's pretty tough. And after probably about 10 minutes, you can see the two of them already in the water. Belle's already, like, casting out. You're still, like...
Navonk has like somehow managed to tie her fishing line into like what looks like a nice little daisy and has like started on the next daisy.
Oh, I thought this might happen. Okay. And he goes and he just gives you his rod. And he says, "Great job, Navonk. let me take mine back. Thank you for holding it. And looks at you, Lilith, and just goes, you're doing the archery station, so I'll do this for you.
like tied up in fishing line. Like, how are you supposed to do
He takes out like a pocket knife and cuts the line and like frees you, and then just says, everybody has strengths. So here, and he gives you the other fishing line that is set up. Everybody now has some level of fishing rod. What I will say is bells. As he turns around and he says, now, whoever can catch the biggest fish not only is going to get to feed the entire group of us for dinner, hopefully, but will also win the fishing merit badge, which I'm sure everybody wants. So go ahead, and whoever wants to can make a survival check. Bells, you can make yours at advantage. You can make yours just normal.
With my coast natural terrain, can I get it? Because it gives me advantage in on the sea.
Can I tie the end of the fishing line to an arrow, find a fish, and shoot it?
You absolutely can. Make an attack roll.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I like find a secure place for my cast my rod, find a secure place for it, and then turn into an octopus and then dive down and then cut two limbs off so they can go and search off independently. Also looking for, just keeping an eye on in case, the other people catching fish.
Probably not. That's a lot of stuff. You can choose something to do though. What do you want?
But an octopus has 9 brains, so they can do a lot at once.
Yes.
She's got a point.
Cutting off elements of your body, you are turning into an octopus. When you turn back from an octopus, those are parts of your body that are just gone. So yes,
but
you
an
can.
octopus can regrow it.
Yes, they can, but an elf can't.
Okay, all limbs intact.
You're only an octopus for a couple hours.
Okay, I'm gonna cast my line so that it gets tangled in theirs if I can.
Oh, I got a 7. 100%. You don't even
And
need to do that.
then be an octopus and then just hunt as an octopus.
Okay, no problem. So, Navonk, as you cast, you hear like from somebody else dropping their lure in, and for you, you're like, oh, I got it in. Your hook never touches the water. It gets over the line of Dwynwen and just kind of hangs, but you don't see that. For you, you're having a great time. You're fishing. You slip into the water, and as an octopus, you can just your way, and it's deep. It's incredibly deep. And as you go down, at first you're only seeing little fish, little tiny minnows, but as you get deeper, the fish are getting larger and larger, and they go from being, just like the little kind of creek chub and some little catfish to you see a lake salmon, almost 2 feet long, just swim by quite quick. And as you go deeper, you can see there's still this yawning deep hole. It's only about 15 feet across when you get close to 40 feet down. But looking through that, it's just dark water that continues on. No idea how far it goes.
I'm going to find a place to keep an eye on that big one, the last big one you said.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to camouflage myself and just watch in case, just watch out for the biggest one.
Okay, so make an attack roll. Roll a 20-sided dice.
6
Plus
Okay.
giant octopus?
So we're going to go around then. What was your survival check? Or sorry, your attack roll?
Did I need to make a survival check to
Attack
find a
roll.
fish?
No, you're doing a different thing.
Okay, 22.
22. Bells, what did you get?
Bell's got an 18, and he doesn't like getting wet, so he's going to avoid the proximity of the beach.
Okay.
He's going to be on his room, and he's going to fly directly above
Phenomenal.
the center of the pond.
So it's very much like a fishing boat, but you're just going out 10 feet above and then just dropping it down. Excellent. You can see Dogglethan the whole time is just this is not what I was envisioning. But no problem. Navonk, you catch nothing. That's easy. What'd you roll?
25.
Very nice. For Old
Gragnus.
Old
No one knows his
Gragnus.
name.
Yarr. I've been called many things.
Scraggly.
So.
Scraggly.
The octopus and Navonk have roughly equal success. You can see a couple fish down here, but they're too fast. And as an octopus, you like try to reach out and you try to like do the ambush predator thing, but this seems to be a little too challenging at this moment. You can keep hearing splashes as everybody else is like dropping lines in, and that seems to be scaring the fish. So not a lot of success.
Can I have used minor illusion to like lure a big fish for advantage or something?
You already took the shot. It's
That's
still
fine.
pretty good.
That's fine.
But Bells, with an 18, as you like fish in, from your perspective, the octopus, like you try to grab the salmon and the salmon's just too fast, and you watch as the salmon swims up and away and it just bites onto something. You feel this huge pull, and the whole broom like buckets down a little bit. Make a strength saving throw.
Navonk is better at just standing in the river and you just catch the fish.
Like a grizzly bear.
Despite the fact that you do not like to get wet, all of a sudden you are pulled off the broom, and you watch as this dark kenku just splashes into the water. You lose the rod, it just like drops into the water, and the fish seems to get away, unfortunately. But you did briefly have a lake salmon on the round.
I'll save you. And Navonk like goes running to the water to go and save.
No problem. You in, and you can swim over, and it's. I would say you don't have a swim speed, correct? Nope. And you are just a big furry creature, so like that's just dragging wet fur, and so it's not a graceful rescue, but you do get there.
Bells replies, we'll need a bigger boat.
Lilith, for you take the arrow out, and in the dark water, it's hard to see much, but for a brief second, you see a flash of yellow, and so you fire at that, and you see just this like the water gets even darker around there. You feel something tug once and tug twice, then it goes still, and you pull this up, and it is an electric yellow fish, horizontal black stripe on the dorsal fin. It's only about 7 inches long, but Dogglethan goes, those are really rare. You could probably get about 30 gold pieces for that.
Wow, what are they called?
This is a yellow cichlid.
Cichlid?
A cichlid, yeah. It's like a cichlid, but with a T instead of a T.
Fantasy cichlid.
Yeah.
Cool. And then she goes, well, okay, so we're not eating this one then?
We could. It's just not a whole lot, you see, but excellent work. It's definitely the best fish we've caught so far.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep it. And then she kind of like opens her bag and looks at the fish, which is wet, and she's like,
yeah, that's a good idea. For you rolled a 24?
25.
25. For you sit there with this line, and you're thinking about this dark blue patch in the middle. You've heard of blue holes before, and you've never seen one in a tidal pool, but you know, there are weirder things that have happened. So you cast the line dead center of the space, and from your perspective, Dwenwyn, you see as an octopus the little lure sinking down and down, and that tiny 15-foot wide opening just straight through the center of that, and then just down to the dark and the deep. Make a strength saving throw.
Shit.
So I'm still hidden and I'm watching. I'm watching.
Yeah.
Ooh. 18.
An 18. You dig your heels in, you see the line pulling, and you dig your heels in, but still about 4 feet in the sand. You like skid forward. You are like ankle deep in the water, but you stop yourself. This is strong. This has been a long time since you felt something this big. And you know that right now, without the boat at your back and the equipment that you need, you look over at your rod, like if only it was that one. Because this is a huge fish.
Send it here! Quickly!
Can I like latch on and help?
Yeah, so go ahead and make an athletics check. You see this string just go completely taut, and in the water you hear wah, 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 as it goes and has that acoustic strum.
Ooh. That's 21.
So as you cannot pull this away without your rod, without the ship, you can't quite move. All of a sudden there is just a woof, and you like almost fall back. You get back up to your feet, and just as you do, another woof, and you almost fall down again. You are moving like slowly back, and Dogglethan like turns, just goes, "You need to help him! Somebody help him!"
Navonk's like coming out of the water. Bells like,
You won't get away from me this time.
Make an athletics check as you just kind of toss bells.
4.
4.
Navonk is a +5. I got a 13.
Very nice. So, Ori.
Gragnus.
Gragnus. As you are about to pull this in, and suddenly through the shallow water, you can see the form of an octopus that is your niece, who is like tugging.
Come on, Davy.
Motion to pull this thing up. You can see at the very end of your line, almost 4 feet long. This is a huge silvery fish. You haven't seen something quite this color. And as it thrashes against the line, a blue tinge, you can see black eyes on this thing. And this must be at least a 400-pound fish.
Oh, you're a mean old
And you're about to get it in with help from your knees, but then Navonk shows up. And Navonk kind of collides with you and almost knocks you out. But they grab you on, so you're not going to fall. And then Lilith comes up, and Lilith, you're about to help, and you trip.
I'm
And
helping.
No, can I just use all my tentacles and wrap around it?
make an attack roll.
I'm just visiting the octopuses like on the face of the fish.
It's about to try to, yeah.
As Lilith falls, she goes, I'm wigging out.
And you fall in such a way that your shoulder hits right behind Gragnus's. I don't know his name.
Old
Guard.
Old Guard.
Old Greg.
Old Greg. Your shoulder hits Old Greg right in the back of the knee, and he doesn't buckle.
I swear.
And so, Old Greg, you are prone.
Oh no! That was a 19.
The line snaps and you no! However, at the exact same time, for you onto the fish's face. And so the fish is swimming, it has the hook in its mouth and the string going behind it, but it cannot see. And so the fish just dives straight down, and as luck would have it, it is directly over this blue hole, and so it is getting colder and colder and colder. It moves 50 feet down. It is about to go through this hole. Do you want to continue with it? It's going to just continue diving.
Is there a way I can change from a regular octopus to a giant octopus and just like hold like over the hole?
You already are a giant octopus, technically. That's the thing that you turn into.
Yeah.
You can try to hold onto the hole if you want. Make an athletics check at disadvantage because you are holding the fish as well. And this is the last chance to keep this deep perch.
Yeah. Where'd your other one go?
Navonk is supremely wet.
Oh,
Yes.
And has just deposited like a bundle of wet feathers onto the ground, and is now just like boring.
With the line cut, I'm like scrambling to try and get to my rod to try and cast it again.
I'm also choking it. Did I make that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
14.
14. It so hard and it thrashes through and it scrapes you off on the edge of the blue hole and just disappears. Little ink comes out from you, and you just have to like go back to the surface. But at the end of all of this, Doggleton just goes, well, that was very unexpected. But Lilith, apparently again, I will award you the fishing merit badge.
This doesn't feel right, but I accept.
And so from a mechanics
Puts it on
standpoint,
her. Puts it on her.
Glaring.
Beret.
Glaring.
And kind of smugly regards old Greg and just kind of like shrugs, like,
Doesn't even notice. Fishing with the pole of angling now.
so as a bonus action, with this
Intent.
fishing badge, you can fling a lure on a small tether of fishing line 15 feet away from you. Any creature that is targeting you needs to make a DC 12 perception check, where it uses its movement on its next turn to attack the lure before it can strike you.
fling a lure 15 feet away. Any creature that I fling it at attacks the lure instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the fishing badge. Doggleton turns around at all of you and goes, I think we need to go back to camp. Some of you need to dry off.
Navonk just like does a dog shake.
It's just like sand on everybody, water on everybody.
Bells imitates to like get off.
Everybody gets wet down from like the knee down. But yeah. Doggleton says, I think we should go back and do something a little bit slower paced. That was quite rough. You're an octopus. That's pretty cool. Okay, follow me, campers. And he like turns and begins to head back to the camp.
I'm still sitting there with my bowl.
I'm getting you, bastard.
You
sit there
already
for a
gave
little
out
bit.
the badge, Daddy-O.
It's not about a badge.
At this point in the distance, there is a little bit of thunder, and Dogglethan says, "Oh, it looks like we're making it just in time. It seems to be about to rain. All right, junior campers, let's beat it and get to the arts and crafts tent quickly." And then he begins to like run up the little switchback trail.
Oh yeah, time to haul ass and beat the gravel. Beat the gravel.
You have the list.
Yeah.
So, for anybody who wants to, you can make your way back. For you, Bells, are you just flying back?
No, Bells is a little dejected and will kind of just trudge behind
Okay.
everybody else.
Are you like dragging the broom up?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Navonk is booking it. It's an 80-foot dash.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's beating the gravel.
Yeah, so you actually go past Dogglethan. I mean, he does not have that kind of speed. And so you rush past. You make it to the crafts cabin well ahead of everybody else. No problem.
Navonk is like taking out her string and her ball bearings and her chalk and is just ready.
Everybody else, in a little bit of a longer period of time, makes it to the crafts cabin. After running up there, Dogglethan says, "All right, and it's like beginning to mist, not quite rain. There's still sun in the sky, but clouds are beginning to move in. And he says, why don't we do a little bit of bracelet making? I think something a little slower paced will be good for all of us."
Yeah.
He takes some keys out and he unlocks the craft cabin. And he also says, we also do have some beads that are apparently on the ground. And as he opens the door, you can see it looks like something has like gotten into the cabin and knocked the beads over. They're everywhere.
I did that with my beads, and people got mad at me.
Well, we won't get mad at you here, Navonk, but we do need help, and so your expertise will come in handy. So he turns and he says, now, for the friendship bracelets. And then suddenly, you see from like off in the distance behind him, the Minotaur like pokes out of the forest and begins to approach. A pretty quick clip. And Dogglethan begins to say, we have plenty of string, but I encourage you not to use the metallic stuff until the campers get here, because it is a favorite and we always run out. And then from behind him, the Minotaur says, Scoutmaster Dogglethan, the others have gone missing. Come, something is wrong. And Dogglethan goes, okay, Junior Councils, whoever has the most badges is in charge. Figure out this, and I'll be right back. And he turns, and they begin to move off back in the direction the Minotaur came from. Lilith, you technically have the most badges.
Not technically,
You have the most
definitely.
badges. And so you are now in charge.
I'm in charge.
This vacation sucks.
Look, he said that the others were in trouble, including my best friend, Jessica. I think we maybe should help. Friendship bracelets can wait, surely. Navonk, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sneaky when I want to be. Maybe I can follow and see what's going on. I'm in charge. I'm gonna do that. And she casts invisibility and
Okay, no problem.
and just she's gonna just kind of invisibly and silently
Make a stealth check at advantage.
go behind.
Have I heard of any old stories about this area? Any like
I think that probably falls under the
Ill
old
omens
creature check that you made previously, but make a religion check. Why not? For ill omens.
When
Dirty
Belle,
20.
When
Dirty
Belle sees Lilith disappear, he goes, easy come, easy go.
No problem.
Can I move over and all the little things you're making, I'm picking them up and like braiding them like into like making them beautiful into you.
My friend taught me this one. You have to take 4 strings, not just 3. And you go like this, and then you put a bead on it, and it looks really pretty.
And every once in a while I bonk with the flower for the flowers.
Oh, I can do that too. And Navonk pulls out a little green tuft, and it's like it turns into a little pit of moss.
Ooh, and I take it and I put it in your like beautiful crown I'm making.
Yay.
Making a little crown for Navonk. Look at that. So while you make some crafts, you sneak off to follow this group. As they're going, you seem to be able to catch up in pretty quick order, and they don't seem to hear you. And the Minotaur is saying, I don't know what happened. I kept sending them out after each other, and they never came back. And Dogglethorn says, that's really not what you're supposed to do. We need to read the book together sometime. But come on. And they continue on and make their way down in the direction of what you can see with all the like the wooden signs is the canoe station, the place that you had heard that Mina had gone missing. They make their way down to the sort of bottom point. Make a perception check. You can see they're looking around as well. Every now and then Dogglethorn will say, Mina! Hank?
17.
With a 17, you look around, and as they like head off, they'll like leave the trail every now and then and like look in the forest. And so you begin to look around as well, maybe seeing if you can catch sight of your best friend. And you don't. But you do catch sight of just a little bit of blood on the side of one of the trees.
Oh no. Can I look around and see if there's any more blood? Like, maybe there's a trail?
Make an investigation check.
That's pretty good. Another dirty 20.
Okay. With a dirty 20, you look, and you can see the way that it's hit the tree, it makes almost like a line. And when something does that, that means that it has to have traveled in a direction. So you go in the direction of the line, using it almost like an arrow, and you go across the trail, and you go into the woods, and you see a little bit more. And you find a little bit more. And slowly, you realize that you're kind of following your way in a more roundabout direction to that canoe spot. And you're beginning to see that there are like broken bits of branches, and as you're going, there is more and more blood.
Okay. So, she's done some recon, but if there's, something, if there's like bad juju, she definitely wants at least the big punchy bugbear with her. So she's gonna backtrack back to the crafts cabin with the intent of being like, we found the trail, let's go.
As you begin to head back, there is a crack of thunder overhead.
Lumens.
And it begins to rain. And so as you walk back, it is a little bit less comfortable, and you would imagine your invisibility a little bit less effective as like the little drops do hit you, and it does create almost like a misty ghost form in the water.
Something troubling be afoot.
You make your way back. You can't help but wonder, Lilith, by the time you get back to this tree, will that blood still be there?
Can I mark the tree somehow?
How do you want to mark it?
I want to like tie a thing around the tree.
Did you get a friendship bracelet yet?
No. Oh, I'm going to take out an arrow and just maybe slip to the tree.
No problem. And you head back towards the rest of the group. As you are doing this, you hear thunder roll in the distance and another crack a little bit closer. But with the storm overhead, that makes a lot of sense. And you go back to the group. You all hear the thunder begin as well. The rain starts to fall down and just beat on the roof. And you can hear up above just little footsteps as squirrels and things that have made their home in the ceiling and in the above space, like kind of move and shift. But the air does get a little cooler. You make your way back to the group, and then suddenly, after like the thunder and it's getting darker, the door like swings open, the wind blows in, and Lilith arrives.
So I like out of invisibility again, and I'm like, okay, group, there's a mystery afoot. We gotta go find the other junior counselors, including my best friend Jessica.
Oh, is this like a scavenger hunt?
Yes.
Like now?
Yes, I found a trail of blood. The other counselors, the head counselors, whatever they're called, the scoutmasters seem confused. I think we can solve this. Maybe get some more badges. And so she's gonna be like, gather around, everybody, and she's gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
Nice.
I found a pie coat.
That's really good, Navonk. How close are we to the friendship tree? Or not
The safety tree?
The safety tree, thank you.
About 100
right here.
Okay, so she's gonna be like, maybe we should go get our weapons. This is gonna get dangerous.
Navonk slides her crafting materials into her bag.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
And so, come on, everybody, let's go. And she's gonna lead the way toward the safety tree, and then back around to where she put her arrow.
Or guard. Or Grag. Or Goblin Man. You, with a 27 on your religion, you've heard of Umberlee, this chaotic evil goddess of the ocean.
The deep sea.
Yeah. And so that's definitely somebody who might have an ominous feeling about this place. And you remember that
He
dwarf.
said it on the ship, on the boat ride over.
He said it.
Yeah.
Someone has upset the deep one. Umberlee.
Sure. So, as it rains,
creepy stuff.
Lilith makes their way out. Is everybody following Lilith?
Yeah.
Could I have a marching order, please?
Lilith's going first.
Dark heavens are afoot beneath.
Just by being
Beyond
virtue
dark.
of being fast. Navon's probably second.
I'm behind. I'm sorry, Cara. What's your name?
Navonk.
No, I'm behind Navonk, trying to finish up like the last little braid.
Okay. So, like, having to, like, hop up sometimes to get to the tallest
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. I'm like,
No
oh,
problem.
just almost.
So yeah, braiding Navonk, you're like walking in a kind of lopsided gait to stay down there,
You look
Somehow
so
straighter.
soaking wet because it's pouring rain as you do this, but no problem. You make your way over and into the direction of the safety tree. And because it is 2 o'clock, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come back to continue the mystery of Camp Brightcove. But thank you for hanging out with us. I'm gonna walk over there and put us in break.
One shot.
Walking behind the two screens where the players are.
and welcome back. When we last left off, you had all begun to approach the safety tree where many of your weapons hang in the rain as it begins to pour and thunder down around. Lilith, you are leading the group there. And so as you approach the safety tree, you can see the huge cottonwood tree with all the different things just blowing in the wind. And now, every now and then, you're hearing just clang, clang, clang as they just brush against each other. Make a perception check.
21.
There is one weapon missing from that tree. When you had first come up, you had seen a short sword and a dark scabbard with red detailing. And in fact, Dogglethan had tapped it and said, mine's already up there. And so that is missing. But this is opposite the direction that Dogglethan had gone in with the Minotaur.
Did I think that sword was magic?
You don't know. You didn't really look at it.
Okay.
Dogglethan's sword is missing, but I don't think he's been this way. Be on your guard, everybody. Get your weapons, quick.
And she's gonna grab her hand crossbow, and then, like, the short bow that she had, she's gonna be like...
Okay.
hang it back up.
Right back up on the tree.
And she's gonna, just, like, load up the crossbow.
Ready?
Bells is gonna take his rapier down and look at Lilith and say, "That's not a knife. This is a knife."
Great work, buddy.
Knife. No problem.
Navonk's gonna look around for like a really big piece of like a barrel lid or like a piece of wood to use as an umbrella.
Okay, so you go over and you can see there is a big barrel right by the cabin nearest you. So you walk over, you take it off. Yeah, no problem. Is anybody else taking things down from the tree?
What do we have here still on? It's
There's short swords, there's a rapier, you can see a rusted old warhammer. Anything else that people put up there would still be up there.
The short bow that I hung there.
Short bow.
Is that? Can I casually use the barrel lid as a shield?
There is no handle to like put it onto your arm. You could do that. Okay, so it's more of like a fist guard at that point, but yeah, you can certainly do that. You could also just try to quickly cobble something together.
Yeah.
So make a quick, we'll call it an arts and crafts check. This is sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand? Shit.
Well, and you can add whatever your proficiency modifier is, because you are a crafter. What was that roll?
So, remember when I said I just basically like punch my fingers through?
Yeah.
I got a 6.
Okay.
Punch my fingers through.
So you like see that there are elements that you could use to make a shield. You take a still like fallen but alive branch that has like elasticity to it, you bend it, and as you go to like nail this thing, you take the hammer and just shatter the shield. And the whole element of this barrel lid just breaks apart, and you don't have an umbrella anymore. Anybody else need anything from the tree?
Lilith's gonna just like cast mending, like on the off chance it'll work.
Okay. You cast mending on this barrel lid, and it's not really an off chance. It's smaller than a foot square. You see the wood back together and just full barrel.
Neat. And then yeah, she's just gonna be like, maybe don't punch through it next time. Maybe try something different.
Go for it.
19.
I can do this all day.
Very delicately, with 2 fingers, you take your hammer this time and just put 2 nails right through, and you have a shield. There are 2 little bits of nails coming out through the front, and so, you know, maybe even better than a regular shield, but probably not. That can functionally count as a shield. Anything else people are grabbing from the tree?
So I'm just gonna crawl back into Ori's hood and make sure that there's rain.
Old Gragnus.
I'm sorry. Into my uncle's hood.
Yeah.
No, your hood.
Oh, yeah, my hood's
Your
down, okay.
Make sure like some rain gets in it. I'm gonna crawl in there and take a short rest.
Okay. As
As an octopus.
Okay. Okay, so
just been an
Old
octopus the
Gragnus
whole
like
time.
I'm just carrying you as an octopus the whole time. No problem.
I like to imagine it's like one of those little Dumbo octopuses with the cute ears. And
Well,
little tentacles.
So technically,
I was gonna say,
it's
the
a
branding
giant.
makes a lot more
It's a
sense.
giant octopus, and so like
can
tentacles
squeeze.
over, tentacles
Yeah.
over, but like the whole body can fit into the.
Yeah, they can squeeze.
Incredible.
So no problem. It's just like the two dark eyes that are like looming out from the sides.
Makes me kind of look like an octopus because
Yeah,
I have
kind
this
of.
big thing.
Have you seen those knitted like?
Yes, very much. It looks like that, except this one like moves every now and then, and like there's a time where your hat like slides down over your face, and one of the tentacles just like pulls it back on top. But no problem.
Make a
All right,
tentacle
we're
beard on
swinging.
Davy Jones.
Off in the distance, you could hear a shout over the thunder, and then turning in the direction of the woods, you see pounding through the rain, a little bit of blood in his face, Dogglethorn. And he's like waving frantically to you. Is there anything that you guys want to do?
Why is his sword missing? What's
Oh, does he have a
his
sword?
weapon? Yeah, does he have it?
So he's waving both hands as he runs over, and as he approaches, you can hear through the rain. He just says, "It's not safe." Continues to run towards you, probably about 120 feet away.
We know that's
What
why
the-
we have weapons.
Is this as a result of Umberly? Something dark is
Make a religion check.
Something is afoot.
Are there other swords on the safety tree?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab one so I can give it to him.
Okay, so you pluck one down. He crosses past the activity cabin, past the camp area, and reaches you at the tree. But he stops like a good 50 feet away, painting hard. He is just breathing really hard, soaking wet. The blood is like dripping off of his face. Not from him. You don't see any wounds, and so it clears as the rain falls down.
19.
19, maybe.
Navonk
So he's like 50 feet away from us?
Yeah. He's
Navonk is
breathing
gonna
hard.
reach up into the safety tree and grab a branch to use as a club.
You grab the branch and like bend it down. Make a strength check. He's like breathing, and as he sees Navonk grab it, he just frantically like, no.
I'll be on the guard.
Dirty 20.
It's a dirty 20. You snap this tree off, and you can see he waits, and he just goes, "Oh, he's not here yet. Okay, everybody gather around.
Who's
we need
not
to figure out how to get off this island really quickly, and we need to move far away from the tree. Step away from the tree."
You said it was called the safety tree. And as she
What's
says that,
going on
she
with
hands
this
him the
tree?
sword, and it's like, I guess you were wrong.
This tree begins to creak.
I'm pulling my hood closer to keep my niece
From behind
protected, and I'm
Dogglethorn.
backing up.
There is this of green energy that streaks from behind and then strikes the tree. And you watch as it begins to move significantly more. And then the trunk splits down the middle.
Where did the green come from?
We're gonna find out. But everybody can go ahead and roll for initiative. You like a little visual perspective.
Wait, was I able to complete my
The 10-minute short rest?
Please?
No.
Well, you can still just
Oh no.
stay in the hood.
These dice
for
are
a
hard to
little
read
now,
through these
'cause
sunglasses.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I get to add my wisdom modifier to my
You've got a bunch of
Oh, still
spells.
pretty
that you
okay.
can
Navonk got a 3. Wow, I had nothing.
use. Space. Okay.
Joe makes
Here's
the most
us.
incredible combat
gotta move
maps.
our trinkets.
Oh, this is my die. What do you do?
We gotta move our trinkets.
Lake Tarkana over here.
Our trinkets.
Hope we don't need
Our
this thing. Oh,
totems.
Cara, here's a one of your things.
Alright.
Here is the camp.
Yeah, look at it. It's huge.
Oh my gosh.
I got this corner. I got this side.
Okay. Wires.
Holy guacamole, you've outdone yourself.
It's Camp Brightcove.
I mean, yeah. Like I said,
Emily, let yours down.
If you could all place yourselves around the safety tree, you'll see the archery course where Hannah, you received your badge. You could see the fencing course that nobody ever reached. This is the area where you had put all the food out. And so actually, as a result,
for the mini school, a bear friend.
Where's Matt? You got the minis?
Yeah.
Why are you hoarding minis?
Stop hoarding the
I
minis,
didn't
Matt.
want them to get crushed by the camp.
Did I successfully hand what's his face the sword? Yeah, Dogglethan. Okay, cool.
All right, where peeps want to be?
Wait, do I have to roll
I guess I'm next. I'm
Yeah, we gotta
relatively
roll.
close to the tree because I had.
Gotta roll a D.
Oh no, but he wouldn't have. I'm wherever Dogglethan is. Is that him?
I would be wherever Lilith was. That was next to her.
Let's see if we want
To make
access
my
to
pippy
your spells.
remark.
Hey, old Greg, where you at?
So fit.
I love bells. He's good.
I was thinking to like probably sitting around the fire here.
And so you are able to see a little bit of this camp on the battle cam, but at Alberon RPG on Instagram or on Threads, if you know what that is.
If you do not like the elongated muskrat, you can go to Threads instead.
So I like that. You see this camp before you, and the activities cabin is the big one in the center. You can't really see into it, but several of these buildings do have interiors, and so if there is any reason that you do need to, I think it's this one, that one, and the one all the way in the corner. But Dogglethan grabs the sword from you, and as this green light streaks over and hits the tree, let me go grab one more mini.
Ooh, I hope it's the Minotaur guy. This seems cool.
What do you roll?
18.
Ooh, good. Was it flat 18? Ooh. So you actually got a 21. Did you get plus 3?
Nice, Emily.
Put this guy here just in case.
Oh.
Oh, that's the Minotaur.
No.
It's Oakfeld.
So suddenly, no, Oakfeld's way bigger than that. So suddenly,
Medium filled.
the tree splits down the middle. The trunk seems to almost start to fall and slide in half, and then it steps, and the roots snap away, and this tree swings out its branches wide, and you can see it take on this humanoid form. Up above and around the branches, all these blades that now swing off, as it turns, the blades through the air. And you would imagine getting especially close to this creature for a good amount of time is not going to be fun. But it looms over all of you now, and Dogglethan just turns and says, "Get away from the tree!" Can everybody roll for initiative, please? And if you already have, did anybody get a natural 20? Okay. 25 to 20?
23.
23.
Nice.
How do I spell your name again?
Dave.
Dave. I'll just do Dave. Yeah, I like that. All right, 20 to 15.
17.
17 for Bells. 15 to 10. 14. Right? 14 for Old Guard.
Crag.
Dang.
Gragnus.
10 to 5.
9.
Ooh. Navonk.
Ooh. 3.
3 for Navonk.
Flat 3.
Okay.
Oh, poor Navonk.
Feels
It's funny because I've got like danger sense and surprise attack feats that
Don't you
here.
get advantage to attack roll or to initiative, or is that not yet?
Not yet.
So the way that this works out, Dave, you're going first, followed by Bells, followed by the safety tree, followed by Old Grag, followed by Dogglethan, followed by Lilith, and then Navonk at the very, very end. Once you finish with your current task, you get to go. So, put them across the house, right? Okay. So,
It's Oreo. He's wearing boots.
Yeah, exactly. What would you like to do? You're first, and so you see this tree begin to bend and sweep over top where you are resting inside your uncle, or your uncle's hood.
So I'm very grumpy. Can I like?
Oh, you're still a giant octopus, right?
Yeah. So can I just like make any? What do I see? Can I make it? Can I see what's going on before I make a move?
Yeah, so right now, everything that's happening I just described. You can see this huge tree that is leaning up behind you.
Any like and I can I see where like the, because I have dark vision too. So can I see specifically where the slashy things are coming from?
You can. All along the branches, you can see that there are little daggers and swords that have been hung across multiple years of this camp. Some of them rusted, some of them quite sharp.
So I want to. I could do the ice sharpies.
Yeah.
I can, and with all my tentacles, I'm gonna try and just try and slice down the sharpie things on the bad guy.
Okay, give me just 1 second here. So I don't know that you can actually cast spells while you are an octopus. And I'm going to say that you cannot, actually.
I think that's like a high level
Yeah.
thing that you can do.
And so you, with your tentacles, and nothing really happens. Is there something else that you want to do? You can turn back as a bonus action and then as an action
you
cast your
can
spell.
change into it.
Okay, I'll be a
Okay.
person again.
Can somebody pull the octopus off and then put the person back on? And so for a moment, octopus, then person. From there, go ahead and make your attack roll with Ice Knife.
Ooh. 18 on the die plus 25.
25. Yeah, 25 is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage for Ice Knife.
So that's gonna be.
And I believe that
It's 1d.
Navonk and Bells have to ready a dex save.
Bells does?
Bells is right there. He's right next
Oh,
to
yeah,
me.
Yeah, that's 1 plus.
Navonk is strong and nothing else.
1 plus 8 points of ice damage, and then it explodes. And it has to make a dex saving throw.
Okay.
It was piercing damage first.
So,
While I
piercing
throw him,
damage.
you're like, you woke me up from my nap!
So you throw this little knife that is like, you throw this knife made of knife. You throw this knife made of ice. That's the way that you say those words.
Nice knife.
And as it sticks in, it doesn't quite do the amount of damage that you wish it did. It seems like this tree is resistant to piercing damage.
But then
But then,
it has to make a dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage.
nice. And it's any creature within a certain radius.
Any creature within 5 feet of it.
So Bells and Navonk, go ahead and make dexterity saving throws.
12.
10.
14.
I forgot how strong I am.
The spell save DC is 15.
15. Everybody fails. So roll 2d6, and you're dealing that much damage to the tree, to Navonk, and to Bells.
Oh,
I only have piercing damage.
Beyond.
9.
9 is a miss, unfortunately.
No, 9 points of ice
9 points
damage.
of ice damage. Okay.
Yeah, because they have to make the save.
And that does full damage. And so not any kind of resistance to the
But also cold face to our friends.
So each of you is like, as this ice knife hits the tree, it just seems to shatter across the bark, and the little bits are embedded. You get the brunt of the impact.
Anything you could do to enhance it or not?
On my turn.
Okay.
Anything else, Dave? Do you want to move anywhere?
Oh, the mini's missing. We didn't put the mini back.
Oh.
Somewhere over there.
Medium Dave.
You can take, just for now, this red hand, because it's easy to see, and then we'll find it eventually.
Dave.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, Dave.
Sorry about that.
And you can move if you want. Probably don't want to move
No.
to.
If you move and somebody's really close to you, they're allowed to hit you as you run away. It's called an attack of opportunity.
I'm not gonna hit you.
A tree, probably.
I'm sticking next to.
Okay, no problem. You stand your ground. That is your turn, Dave Bells. After the ice shatters across you, you like flick it away. What do you want to do? The
Craig.
rain's coming down.
My goblin Uncle
Yeah,
Greg.
you kind of do a shake and shake off all the ice, and then we'll do Dark Souls rolling towards Navonk.
No problem.
We'll do enhanceability,
Okay.
and we'll let out a roar of a bear, and we'll give Novik the Is it called bear or something?
Bear strength.
Bear strength.
So there is all of a sudden, as this kenku opens their beak, this loud bear growl that just erupts across the space. And Navonk, you feel like your ancestors calling you with this.
Navonk is a bugbear, barbarian.
And for the next
Jack Bear.
hour, you have advantage on con checks and 12 temporary hit points.
Your ancestors lend you strength as this kenku roars into your vitality pool. Anything else, Bells?
He's going.
Can you tuck Bells in over there?
Yeah, I got it.
Sorry, how long does the con
An
saving
hour.
throw?
Yeah.
And
Is it a concentration spell?
it is.
Okay. Can you put concentration?
We're all still really stealthy, by the way. Not that it matters, but if you wish to stealth.
He's going to. I don't.
Oh, because pass without trace.
I thought it was going to be useful. I did not expect tree to be enemy tree.
But if it can't see us, then
What is your question?
He's going to be.
Mask of the Wild. If I'm slightly behind Gunko, am I hidden?
No.
No.
What was your question?
Oh no, I'm just debating if I want to try to run away or.
To you? What do you want to do?
Slightly obscured by rain.
Hard to tell.
I'm gonna have to run away.
Okay.
I'm gonna have. I did
That does provoke an attack of opportunity.
1, 2, and then I have another 4.
And so you see the tree reaches out with the branch and tries to slam a fist down. Is that is a 20 hit?
Holy shit!
Yeah, that hits.
That was a good roll.
Legally just
That is going to be
The legally
15
distinct-
points of bludgeoning
the
damage.
weeping,
And as they hit you, the ground underneath you shatters and cracks. And you get the sense that this individual especially adept at damaging structures and objects. But the ground cracks around you. You feel the pain flood across you. But you do manage to get away. And where do you want to end up?
I already moved myself.
Oh, perfect. Excellent.
And I guess I'll have to make a Constitution check or
Punishing pine.
for concentration.
Yes, for concentration.
17 plus con, or 18 then.
Good. No problem. You squint, and for a moment, Navonk, you feel the strength falter just a moment, but it holds strong. That is your turn, Bells.
Yes.
That brings us to the safety tree. So,
Are you gonna concentrate on anything?
not very fast. The safety tree on these huge legs is just and swings around to right here. And then you watch as the safety tree initiates the safety shuffle. And they begin to spin and twirl. They look very, very ungainly. However, can everybody this is going to be Old Grag, this is going to be Dave, this is going to be Bells, and this is going
Basically
to be
everybody
Navonk.
but Lilith.
Do I have advantage being small?
You do not.
Okay. Oh no, that's nimble squatness of the hobbits.
nimble
Halfling. Legally distinct.
Of
Dex effect
the
that I can see.
halflings.
Yes, it is. Yes, absolutely is. So dex saving throws.
That's a 16 for Bells.
16, that is a success. You tuck down flat. And these swords, Bells, as you are down into your back, it's just over top you.
7.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. And then Dave, old Grag.
Nice. 22 for Dave,
Okay.
and for me, 19.
A 19. Everybody hits the ground hard, with the exception of Navonk, who's like, what? And then just these swords carve across you. And Navonk, as this tree twirls, you take 14 points of slashing damage. As it just carves into you again and again and again. And then at the end, the tree falls prone, as it is quite dizzy. Could you put it prone, please?
Oh, nice.
That is its turn. And not that any of you see this, but just from
Wait, I do see it. I can see from 120 feet away everything.
Use that 10 HP. Thank
10,
you.
20, 30, 40, 50,
Easy come.
60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This is literally 120 feet. So right from the distance, you see this red-headed dwarf. You had last seen them piloting the boat.
The one who was leading the other group.
No, this is the one that dropped you off.
Oh, the seafaring. I remember him.
They
for
are
sure.
moving in this direction, and you see their hand is coming down from casting a spell. They seem to be the person that brought the safety tree to life.
Oh, to life.
Oh no!
That is
Over yonder, there be a scurvy devil.
Old Grag. What would you like to do?
Free action, I say that.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say,
Dave,
Yeah, what?
hack away at this foul one with your ice. Back, ye beast!
I'm gonna change my veteran's cane
Okay.
into my sword.
Fantastic. So you flick this cane, and out the very bottom of it, there is a 8.5-inch long blade that just ching out.
And then I'm gonna slash this thing while it's prone, which I think is an advantage.
Is an advantage. Make your attack.
Bonus action was to help you with that encouragement, so you get advantage next. And yeah, I'm gonna make my attack. Whoop. Whoop.
You can do it.
Hey! That's gonna be like a 20-something.
Yeah, that hits.
22.
That hits.
Cool. Alright, so then that's a d6 plus 2d6. Alright, that's 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Oh, and can I use my Fury of the Small for an extra?
You certainly can. This creature is way larger than you.
Yarr, it's another 5 damage.
There you go, yeah. And so as this creature falls down, you yell to Davy, giving them some encouragement, and then you leap with your little goblin legs. It's not very far, but just far enough with this creature down on its back. And you begin to hack away at the branches, carving bits of the canopy away. It doesn't bleed. It's not quite so satisfying because it's just wood. But
The
you're
McGrimble
carving
blood
pieces of-
flows through ye.
Anything else, Old Greg?
Nope, that's my bonus action. I'm good. I'm
Okay.
staying where I am.
That brings us to Dogglethorn. Dogglethorn's going to turn to you, Lilith, and they're going to say, in all my years, I've never seen a camper as good as you. You've got this. And he's going to pat you on the shoulder. You get 1d6 of inspiration, and he goes, and he is going to go to the barrel that is right in the corner, and he's going to dive in there. Right there. Yep.
Is this him?
Nope, that's
No,
Lilith.
that's me. He's next to no.
Yeah,
Maybe one of us should be.
you can stand. I don't know why you never stand.
Matt
but you
never
can stand and
stands.
look, yeah. No problem. So he runs away, dives in the barrel, and just he goes and looks for the top, and there is no top. And he just
hit my
tries to get as low as he can.
I do it.
That is Dogglethorn Lilith. What would you like to do? You have inspiration.
Did I hear Old Greg say, "Yar, there be a scurvy devil"?
Oh,
Yeah.
and I pointed over
everybody
yonder.
Okay, so having seen that piercing damage doesn't do much against the tree, I'm gonna go try to find the scurvy devil.
Okay.
So
Pull one up.
since it's my first turn, I get to add 10 to my movement speed. So I'm gonna go 40 feet in the direction that he pointed.
Okay.
And as I'm moving, I'm looking to see if I can see the person that he indicated.
When you
Can
get
I
to
see
the
him?
end of your movement, I believe that's 60 feet, and so just at the edge of your vision, you are able to see this dwarf.
Nice. So he's about 60 feet
I
away?
think it's exactly 60.
Neat. Oh, all right. And I pull out my hand crossbow. And I'm like,
80 feet.
Oh, 80 feet. You
Yeah.
can't see him.
I can't see him?
No.
Poop. But I know someone's
Because it was
there.
120.
All right,
minus 40.
So I'm then gonna Lilith pulls out from her pocket a little golden acorn, and if you could inspect it, you would see that inside it has a feather, a tuft of fur, and a fish tail, and it's worth a lot, like maybe even 200 gold pieces. Anyway,
If one were to appraise it.
yeah, she pulls it out of her pocket and she speaks some arcane words and casts Summon Beast. And this is gonna be, she's gonna summon the flying type, and it's small. And the creature, the flying type, it looks like, can I do, what's that cat with wings?
Oh, I don't remember, but I know exactly what you're talking
It's that one. It's that one. Tressum.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a little tressum, and it flies up, and this creature has the feature of flyby, meaning it doesn't provoke attack of opportunities when it flies out of the reach. And I can summon it within. Sorry.
I think 30 feet.
Within range. What's the range? No, it's 90.
90 feet. Very nice.
So I'm just gonna cast it. I mean, let's see. So I can't see, but I know there's a guy, and let's say that Lilith knows a spell was cast, so it like can't be too much further. Is this fair so far? All right. So she's gonna put it as close to this guy as you deem appropriate within the within the rules of like what makes sense here.
You throw it as far out as you can, it comes to right here.
Okay, great.
90 feet.
That's what I'll do then. And then he is just always going to take his action after me, and now without any action, I get to direct it in terms of what to do, and I'm going to say, find the spellcaster and attack.
Okay, no problem. You get this psychic tug. This creature doesn't seem to really speak, but it almost seems to be able to communicate through touch. And so it's kind of like this yes. One for yes, two for no. And it just like
Nice.
turns. But anything else, Lilith?
Nope. That's
So can it move on its on its turn because it goes right after, or does it go on your turn? Okay.
no. It goes immediately after my turn.
So it spins around, and suddenly you just get frantic tugging because it is right there.
Nice. Okay, so the little tressum sees the guy. He's going to. How many feet away from him?
10.
Is it? All right, so he's going to fly 10 feet, maul, and then fly 20 feet away.
Nice.
So
Make your attack roll.
he just gets the one attack because he's just level 2. No, that's a, let's see, spell attack modifier to hit. It's a 2 plus 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
So this creature just tries to slide in, and immediately he just goes, whoa, and strikes down onto the ground. Mud splashes out, and it just flies straight over top. And you can't, like, see what this creature is seeing, can you? I don't believe you can.
I don't
It's a
think so.
familiar.
I think I can use an action maybe, but it's
So no worries. It just misses, and you feel the miss pretty badly. Anything else?
oh, it's not my turn anymore, so I can't call it. Nope.
Okay. That is this flying cat's turn. Navonk, very bottom of the initiative order. What would you like to do?
So for mechanics purposes,
Yes.
is this a large creature?
For mechanics purposes, this is a huge creature.
All right, not gonna move then.
One size above large. I think it's
All right, Navonk starts like hyperventilating
okay. Easy to do.
and like echoing Belle's bear roar. Navonk wanted to make better bracelets! And goes into a rage.
It goes from like a regular like Navonk wanted to make friendship bracelets. And it's just like this energy that like pulses across, and you see from the ground the tree twitches a little bit. The barrel starts shaking far away with Dogglethorn in it, but no problem.
And hold on. Other. Where's the thing? Hold, please.
Still doing it.
All right. I'm gonna make a reckless attack.
Love that.
No, I'm not gonna make a reckless attack. I'm just gonna make a regular attack because he's on the ground.
Love that list. Otherwise, it was just giving me free advantage.
Cool. That's an 18 for the first attack
18 hits.
with my club.
And you're doing it with advantage, correct?
Yes. That's 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
And bludgeoning seems to do the full amount. It just shatters wood across.
Oh, sorry. 10 points of bludgeoning damage because I'm raging.
Nice.
And then a 27.
27 hits.
And 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Very nice. So you just slam into this tree. And you can see it's still a little disoriented and dizzy, but it's beginning to climb to the feet. So as it puts its arm down, as you shatter one of the branches and it falls back again, it's starting to look a little hurt. Anything else, Navonk? There you go. You rage. Dave, it is your turn. What would you like to do? Bells, you're on deck.
Going to stare, just give a really bad, like, teen glare stare at the tree. Yes, moonbeam.
Okay. So it's just this glare, and then suddenly from over top there is this huge beam of light. I believe it's 20 feet wide.
It's a 5-foot radius, 40 foot.
Oh, it's 20
wide
feet tall,
cylinder.
right?
Yeah, so like right on that thing, on that bad Larry.
I believe that is also going to hit Navonk.
It is not. Right? No, because it's.
Oh, you're going to center it over in your
yeah,
head.
on that side, yeah. Yeah,
Navonk is
so
the new
it hits
not
the
Navonk.
like.
Dave
So,
is the
yeah,
new makeup.
so-
Oh, yeah.
So for Moonbeam, what does that do?
It needs to make a Constitution saving throw. You have advantage, but I don't think that affects it. But it is prone, so I don't know.
It doesn't do anything.
It takes 2d10 radiant damage, which you should roll.
It only rolled a 12, which is a failure.
Cool. Yeah, that fails. So roll.
For a second, I was like, ooh, radiant damage. We know that's actually. Oh, no, that's the other.
That's the other
Yes.
The other campaign.
And then
Technically,
the
it is
shape
this
changer
campaign.
makes its saving throw with disadvantage. It has changed its shape.
Yep.
If it fails, it also instantly reverts
It's
to its
not a
original
shape
form.
changer. Shape changer is like a very specific
Okay,
keyword.
so it's not.
So it's not gonna revert.
So it's not going to.
And I will say, as it doesn't revert, what that tells you, since it certainly isn't a tree ant, it was just a regular tree before, this is an awakened tree. It is not fully alive.
Okay.
Right, this is what I got.
Oh, nice. That's 15 plus. That's a lot of damage.
What's the amount?
23 points
Of radiant damage?
Of radiant damage. Yeah.
Damn. So this moonbeam just strikes down, and from where you are, Navonk, and where you are, Bells, like right next to him, you can see bits of the bark beginning to drift up into the moonlight and the leaves being plucked off. You can see the weapons beginning to like shake and rattle up. It's like pulling and tearing elements away, even as the moonlight strikes down. Where the rain is falling, it just parts with the moonbeam and the clouds up ahead. Even though there is blue sky above, the moonbeam strikes down. Anything else, Dave?
And Malcolm and I give you a high five.
Okay. You high five old Grag. Speaking of which, or I'm sorry, Bells, what would you like to do?
How hard does this tree thing look now after the moonbeam?
After the moonbeam, it looks significantly more hurt. When you look at it now, parts of it are like being torn up and drifting up into the sky. The leaves are like being pulled off of it. It's starting to look rough.
Bells is going to do vicious mockery,
Okay.
and he's going to call the tree a lump of foul deformity.
Okay. What is the DC on
Yeah.
the saving throw?
That would be a 16,
Let's be a 9.
and he'll take 2d4 damage.
And it's just be like, yeah, what they said.
Free action.
That's 8 points of damage.
Very nice. And that's what kind of damage?
What is vicious mod? Like a
Psychic.
damage?
And that seems to do the full amount as you yell. It doesn't seem to even understand what you said, but the venom behind the words, it's not even your words necessarily, but they just strike true, and this creature shudders just a little bit more. Anything else goes.
And then he's going to sing a bird song and will give Old Greg bardic inspiration.
Yarg!
A D8.
Fantastic. Dang, way better bard than my bard. All right.
Hey.
You have inspiration as well. No, not you. The Doggleton is technically a bard. So that brings us to bells. That's everything?
Yep.
All right. That brings us to the safety tree. So half movement, they're going to climb to their feet. We're going to see if they get the safety shuffle back. They don't. And so they are going to swing around and take a single slam attack on.
Can they see? Because they're still in the moonbeam, remember?
They can see. But they're going to take a swing at you, Navonk. You just pounded them pretty hard. Navonk, that is only going to be a 15 to hit.
It does hit.
Okay. Navonk.
Oh, it started its turn, so it takes more damage from Moonbeam.
Oh, yeah, roll damage.
It has to make the Constitution saving throw again.
That is a 23.
Okay, so
In the
it takes
future, please try to read this a little bit faster because
It takes
my math is not
half of
great.
the damage again.
I have to redo that now. 11.
That's half of 7.
Okay, 3.
3
Yeah, it's always rounded down in D&D.
for math, yeah.
Okay, so in the moonbeam, still parts of it beginning to burn away, but it slams down into you for 15 points of bludgeoning damage. Halved. Oh, right, yeah, because you're raging. To 7. So it slams down. And at the same time, on the other end of the battlefield, this dwarf is going to continue moving. 5, 10, 15, 20. I think that... Oh, he's gonna have to continue moving. So he's running up, and as he gets past this dummy, I would say now, Lilith, you're able to see this individual.
Hey.
Same exact dwarf that dropped you off, and unlike before, he is not carrying this little like pole arm that he was like pushing the boat with. He's not carrying a fishing rod or anything like that. You've never seen what he has in his hands. It is some kind of metallic object, but not bladed, and he carries it almost like a baby. But that is his turn. That does he actually have a bonus action that he does not. Okay, that is his turn. That brings us to Old Grag. Old Grag, you feel inspiration from the bird songs around you. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna scooch just a little to the side by jumping up on this knocked over stool to be like, ah, and attack it, which I believe is flanking with the bonk on the
absolutely.
other side there. So I can get my sneak attack in.
You high five your niece, and then you jump off the chair.
And then bonus action, I'll be like,
Cast your light upon the foul one over yonder.
help action, yeah.
Okay.
Bonus action help.
Yep. Make your roll.
And that's gonna be 19 to hit.
19 hits. You leap off this bench, and with your sword cane, you jam it in about waist height on this creature.
It's 15 points of slashing damage.
Damn. That sword cane is nasty.
Oh wait, no, because I can only do it once.
So you leap off this bench, holding your sword cane, and you jab it like a spear into this creature, and it goes deep. And if you want, you can leave it in there and like hold on and be about waist height with this creature, or you could pull it out and land back on your feet.
From where I am, would it be able to hit me with its fucking shuffle thing again? All right, then I'm staying.
All right. So even as it begins to like swing and try to grab you, you see your uncle just like on the end of this sword cane, just being swung back and forth. Your feet are like going back.
Sails in stormy weather.
You may be very comfortable, but to everybody else, they're seeing an old man thrashed around. But that is the safety. Or sorry, that is anything else, Old Greg?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Dogglethan is going to hide. Oh wow. Okay, the barrel stops shaking. That is Lilith. What would you like to do?
All right.
Navonk, you're on deck.
Where's
Right here.
You're up along the side of the house.
He's right here.
If you want to pull the roof off, you can. Just make it easier to see.
8. 35 feet away.
All right, I'm gonna move 20 feet.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, and I'm going to level my crossbow at him and say, "Where's Jessica?" And then I'm gonna go pew 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 3 shots.
Make your attack rolls. Nice.
All right, we got a 16, a 21, and a 15.
The 16 and the 21 both hit.
Nice, not a 15.
No. You can see, though he is shirtless, it does seem like he has some elements of like armor around the legs and waist, and that's keeping him a little safe.
Alright, so that's one of them, 7 damage, and then 7 more, so 14 total damage.
14 total damage. Very nice. You shoot 3 crossbow bolts, and 1 or 2 of them just go straight.
Oh wait,
into
can I
his
use the
leg
bardic on the third one? I'm sorry. No, it's too late.
It's too late.
Okay, sorry.
Hold on to that for later, though.
Alright.
So no problem. You do that. It sticks into a. You yell out, "Where's Jessica?" Anything else, Lilith?
And then as a not action, I'm going to direct the flyboy to, again, just pursue that guy and attack him when you are able
No
to.
problem. Make your attack roll. It's his turn now.
He is. Well, he has to get there first. He's only got 30 feet of movement, I
Moved
think.
20 feet away before.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, 60 feet. He's got 60
Oh yeah, no problem.
So
Oh, no.
he's back here. So can he get there?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
50 feet.
That was 50 feet.
I think so. Yeah.
Fantastic. So he's going to attack and then fly away 10
Okay,
feet.
no
The
problem.
last 10 feet.
Make your attack roll, and then Matt, can you move it like 10 feet closer to Lilith? Yeah. This way. Yeah. Perfect.
That's 18.
That's gonna hit. If it's 18
23,
plus. Yeah.
23. So that's going to be 12 piercing damage.
Oh, piercing damage.
And then he flies away.
Very
for
nice.
The extra 10.
It just right through and just emerges on the other side. He spins a little bit, holding his arm, which is now bleeding. Anything else for the little cat creature?
It's going to be like, "Meow."
Okay. Straight by. That is its turn. That brings us to Navonk. Dave, you're on deck. Navonk?
27.
27 hits, absolutely. Nice. This creature tries to club into you, and you hold the hand,
I'm recklessly
throw it
attacking.
off.
Oh, you get advantage when you fall down.
Are we flanking now that you are in
Oh,
the
I guess
tree?
I'm not. I'm not
Do we
that
call that
high on the
flanking?
tree. I'm 5 feet, right? I'm 5
Yeah, I would say with your feet not on the ground, you're not really flanking.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the threat, really.
So, 10 points of damage for the first one.
Very nice.
Does reckless attack? It's only with the one, and then
No. So you yeah, it's all of them. I mean, very technically you don't need to, but there's no reason not to if you
Yeah.
make one, you know.
and then 26 for the other one,
26 hits.
and 8 points of bludgeoning damage for the second one.
8 points of bludgeoning damage for the second one. So as you swing into this creature the first time, it hits the knee, and you splinter the entire half of the trunk off. And this creature spins, and you can hear this slow, loud moan that sounds like branches breaking and cracking, and it slams onto the ground. And with it prone, you raise your weapon up and just cut hard down into it. And this tree is dead. You watch as the arms just kind of stiffen, the legs stiffen and become like it just becomes a tree fallen and on the ground. The legs become roots.
Can I like pull this thing out and like not fall with it?
You pull it out. You're standing on the corpse right now, or on the tree right now.
Cool.
But we'll get back to that. Anything else, Navonk?
Navonk's gonna move the 40 feet towards where she sees Lilith.
Okay. Okay, so you run in the direction that Lilith went, and you start to catch up. That is your turn, Navonk. Dave, what would you like to do? Dave, you see the tree just get pulverized by Navonk.
So when Grunkle was like, I like whirl around, and the moonbeam now goes. Wait, what?
So
30 feet.
Okay, well, wait, instead of okay, yeah. So I'm gonna put the moonbeam on that person.
So it can move.
It was 30 feet, I believe, right?
It can move 60 feet.
Damn! Moving is so good.
Then, so that was just my bonus.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to
So you need to
Try and
run a little bit over
run
first.
up and do ice knife again.
Okay.
So you can run 30 feet. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Very nice. Perfect. Dead on him. So the moonbeam, and as it shifts across Lilith, so there's a brief moment where there's no rain. It is just this moonbeam that passes over you. You feel prickliness on your skin, but it's not on you enough to hurt. And then it sweeps over this creature and just stops like a spotlight. And you can see like the skin begin to come red as it begins to heat up. Roll damage for that. He gets a, what kind of save?
Constitution save.
That's a natural 20, so he makes that save.
Okay.
Still half damage.
Still
though.
take half damage, so.
For what it's worth, they do not turn into anything else, and so not a shapeshifter, just a regular dwarf.
Yeah, those two. And you can do Ice Knife too, which is an attack. So that's 11 halved.
What kind of damage is it?
Radiant.
Radiant? Why is it half? Oh, because he made it, right?
Is made.
And then
And then
I do
you
it again for
make-
ice knife.
Nope, then you make an attack with this for Ice Knife, and it's an advantage because I helped you.
Freaking
You
Give me one more.
Yeah.
Advantage means you roll twice and take the highest.
Also 14.
Very nice.
So
yeah.
plus, like, 8 or... yeah, plus 8. So
Plus 8, absolutely.
22.
That hits. 22 hits.
22. So then you
Damage
roll
with ice
ice
knife?
damage, so that's another one of these.
And I don't think,
And then it explodes in a
but
radius
that
for...
cat is 10 feet away.
Yes, so it
everybody
doesn't-
is fine. The training dummy that is directly in front of this
Yeah.
creature just pulverized with ice.
Jack,
It
that
goes
training
into the
dummy.
hay, it goes into the helmet.
And I think he has a save to avoid the ice, but let me just check it.
The dummy?
No, the dude who's getting exploded.
Yeah, 7.
So 7 more points of piercing damage, and then I think it's a dex save.
And as I throw the ice knife, I like to make the sound effects. Really cool sound. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So you make sound effects as these ice knives go out.
Yeah, dex save, or he
15.
takes, that's pizza, so he takes no extra cold damage.
Okay, no worries. The ice knife still deals a little bit of damage to him as it explodes in that region, but anything else, Dave?
I'm just gonna yell, "Let's dance, bitch."
Through the rain, let's dance, bitch. Thunder crackles in the distance.
You've got the blood of the South in you.
That is Dave's turn. That brings us to Bells.
Is the rain obscuring any vision, or can we just see?
Well, the moon.
You can still see pretty well, but there's moonlight directly over in that region. So
Yeah.
there is a spotlight on this guy.
Bells is going
Hide
to move
from us.
back over there.
Okay.
Can move 30 feet. I think this is probably good enough. So I just have like line of sight. Thank you.
Yeah, you
on
got line of
site.
sight from there.
And then he's going to cast hypnotic
Very nice.
trance or pattern. And what it is if you ever seen those birds of paradise dancing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, it just is like this and then like hops.
The head, like,
Yeah.
So for most hypnotic patterns, it's like a streaking pattern across the ground. But for this particular casting, you watch as Bells suddenly like stiffens, and then like the feathers go up, and it's this whole. And interestingly enough, what is the saving throw?
It's a 16.
You watch as that enraptures Tarek Spearfisher, who is just like, oh, and this like weapon in their hand is just like starting to sag. They are charmed. Oh, very nice. All right. That is anything else, Bells?
That's it.
All right. The safety tree is down. That brings us to Old Greg.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, sorry. This on the safety tree is this guy's turn. So for hypnotic pattern, he doesn't get to make a save. He has to take damage, I believe, for him to be pulled out of it before the spell ends. In 1 second. Let me see if there's anything we can do. Oh, that's it. That's his turn. All right. Old Greg.
Get him, Coco.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 6.
What's this dwarf dude's name?
Tarak, Tarrak, Spearfisher.
Okay.
I can get about here, and then can I? So move action, bonus action, dash.
Okay.
And then I want to use my action, seeing everything. I'm trying to tie this guy up so that we can.
Okay.
Now that he's charmed.
What do you? So wait. What does seeing anything have to do with that?
I'm looking around with my eyes to find materials to tie him up.
You're a fishing man. You have fishing rope all over.
Oh, cool. All right. I didn't know if I had some on me because
I just from the fishing trip. Yeah,
cool.
you still have
Okay,
some on.
cool. All right. So then I'm gonna. I guess can I make a ranged loop attack at him?
This is going to be probably.
Like I'm trying. Like he's a.
Are you proficient in survival?
Yes.
Okay, make a survival check.
Cool. Just try and lasso him while he's charmed. Uh, 12.
12. With a 12, you loop the fishing line around, and your little shaky fingers do the best job you can, but it's wet, it's raining, even with the moonbeam on you. A little hard to see, but you're doing your best. You feel pretty good. No problem. So that is your turn.
I guess so, yeah.
In this moment, what I'm going to do is, it does not damage, but he is going to give one attempt to escape, and if not, that is going to be a knot that is going to be able to hold him and will be able to pull you out of combat. So, actually, Kevin, can you roll a d20 for me, please? It's just better if somebody else does it.
High or low?
It depends on whether you're fighting or not.
Yeah.
A 9.
A 9. So you watch as he. What is the? What would you roll? Sorry, 12.
Yeah.
12. Pizza. And so you watch as he flexes and bursts out of this.
But he's charmed, so does he
He's in the moonbeam.
He is still charmed. He is still charmed.
So yeah. Oh no, but it's on his turn.
He kind of bursts out of this, and he just goes, "I need to see the rest of this." And he just keeps watching as he is still charmed, but not bound. So that is your turn, Old Greg.
Yes.
All right. That brings us to Lilith. What would you like to do?
All right. So here's what I'd like to do.
That's
Okay.
Get him.
He's supposed to take more.
You are about 15 feet away from him.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to. What's the range? It's touch. Okay. I'm going to walk up here
Okay.
and on the ground immediately in front of him, you see she unwinds what you thought was just like a decorative piece of clothing, but now that it's in her hands, you see that it's a rope. She unwinds it until she's got 30 feet, snips it off, creates a circle, and casts snare. And then, as a not action to her little beast, she's gonna say, "Push him into this snare, please."
Okay.
Because I'm gonna assume that I can't push him because I already used my action
Gently
to cast a spell.
nudge him into this.
Unless it's a movement, I'll let you decide.
Gently guide him into this snare.
I think rules is written that would work, but I would say rule of cool. You can shove him.
All right,
You
cool.
can give him a little shove.
Yeah. So,
Kick.
What does he do? He makes a save.
there's no save. Oh, sorry. Yes, there is a dexterity saving throw, DC 13.
And this is already at disadvantage, but it would technically be at disadvantage again. What kind of save is that?
Dexterity.
That's going to be a 4.
Nice.
So you see this little cat creature just go, wow, and just like, kind of like just as hard as it can, just pelts into him. And it's a small creature; it can't really do a lot of force, but that's just enough to just tip this guy. And he just kind of just goes, no, not right now, and like stumbles. His left foot crosses behind his right, and he steps into the snare.
Yep,
And just straight upside
and
down.
he is now hanging upside down 3 feet above the air. He's restrained for 8 hours.
Fantastic. And so with that, I will pull you out of initiative as you have successfully captured Tarak Spearfish.
Navonk is still raging. And
Well
dashes
done,
the full
niece.
80 feet just with like the
You've
club
done
in
the
the air going,
family proud.
So screaming in Goblin, if anybody speaks it, this bugbear comes screaming across. Are you going to attack? Yeah, make your attack roll. It's at advantage as they are quite. This is a pinata for
Can I
you.
try to like?
Yeah.
Whoa there.
I'd also like to
I will say with this raging bugbear, I will tell you that right now, the risk in doing this incorrectly is getting struck by this raging bugbear.
Whoa there.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Yeah. I'd also like to try because
Make an athletics check as well.
Jessica.
Make your attack roll.
24.
Use Bardic just in case.
Oh wait, I still have Bardic too. Oh,
Oh, but it's athletics?
Yeah.
9.
Okay.
that is so helpful. I got an 8.
What is your total score?
Oh, wow.
So it was a dirty, 19.
A 19. So you rush out, and for you, as you run, you're still doing the snare. You can't get there, but no problem for you. Old Greg, your tiny little legs carry you over, and you just get bulldozed. Navonk runs right over you. Flat into the ground. And Navonk, you step on Old Greg and use them as momentum and leap. Go ahead and roll. It is automatically a critical hit as they are suspended 30 feet from a rope.
Ooh.
Alright,
Oh, I'm getting too old for
minimum
this.
damage, so thank whatever gods for that. So that's 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 points of bludgeoning damage for the first one.
Okay.
And then a 19 for the second one.
19 hits.
Yeah. And 9 point. Oh, 9 still critical?
Yeah.
11 points of bludgeoning damage for the second one.
So as he's suspended, he turns, he's like bobbing, and you can hear Navonk yelling, but they're not quite here yet. You see old Greg begin to move, and you can see he looks and he goes, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you. And then, and his head just explodes. There is just skull and brain that just scatter across. And at the exact same moment, the barrel pops up and Douglas and goes, great work. Starts throwing up into the ground.
There's like blood and viscera all over Navonk, and she just like yells,
Breaks into the air, and there is a crack of thunder. But for all of you junior counselors, you have successfully stopped the murderer of Blue Island. For what it's worth, everybody make an investigation check.
Investigation.
I'm gonna use my kenku recall, and I can have advantage on proficiency skill checks.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Got a 14. Oh, no, sorry, 15.
Okay.
I initially got an 11, but it was cocked, and then I got a 9.
Perception or
Perception. Investigation. Sorry, investigation.
I feel like I should also
24.
Nice.
4.
Okay.
17.
You're like, snacks. Everybody's distracted. You go right to the cabin and you help yourself. You could feast as much as you want. And Old Greg, you're like, yeah, that's pretty good. You go over and the two of you begin to have a great family meal. The rest of you try to find the rest of these campers, and you're not terribly successful. But Bells, for you take the broom, you fly up high, and as the rain is beginning to die down, after a little bit of time, you do find that the counselors, not unharmed, but not dead either. And so ultimately, you solve this in enough time to save all of the counselors. And Camp Brightcove is saved for the year. So congratulations, everybody. You have successfully completed Camp Brightcove. Thank you for joining us for this session of D&D. We will be back for real next week. But until then, please stay safe. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.